Hello, I am Aloysia, alumnus of UKZN from 2007 to 2016. I completed a medical degree. My internship and community service were at academic institutions, and I pursued postgraduate studies. Throughout my medical career, I have been a witness to and a victim of all types of bullying. It has come down to a fine art ranging from passive aggression to outright abuse. I have been a victim of sexual harassment, verbal and emotional abuse, as well as physical abuse when someone shoved me one day that should have been helping and assisting me. The reasons for these are so many. I am female, I am colored, I speak the way that I do. Maybe I spoke up for something that I noticed was not correct, an injustice, and then I was victimized for it. I looked Indian at times, and I hung out with black people. And for all these differences and not behaving the way that I should, or speaking the way that I should, I was bullied. The saddest was to witness bullying by women of color, because they themselves would have been bullied because they were women and of color back during apartheid. One day in medical school, a senior doctor called us into a room in a hospital to give us a lecture, and all she proceeded to do was demand our grades for completing matric. And thankfully we all deserved to be there, but the exercise was to show us that we probably didn't deserve to be there, that we were there because of our skin color and the quota system, and not because we were deserving or worthy. And so this is one form of bullying that I witnessed and encountered in medical school. I've been screamed at and shouted at by seniors in corridors of hospitals and wards. I've been humiliated because of other people's mistakes just because they chose to victimize me. I've had colleagues who've needed to be institutionalized, who've needed to be medicated, who've even committed suicide because of this bullying culture. People's lives and careers have been destroyed because of it. And doesn't it just affect them, but it affects their families, affects how they are as spouses, as children, and even as parents. This is a societal issue. It has made us feel rejected, dejected, stupid, ignorant, inferior, humiliated, ashamed, all types of negative feelings, and we wonder why we are a culture of cynical, miserable, complaining people who are labeled as lazy or entitled. Yet the conditions in which we are groomed and expected to work in are not conducive for motivation and productivity. It was also very sad to see my brothers and sisters from other African nations coming to pursue academia, excited to be in South Africa, only to be welcomed by people who didn't make them feel welcome, who excluded them, treated them like outcasts, second-class citizens. And yet people from other places such as Europe or America would be treated as kings and queens. It's not white supremacists who treat us this way, but it is the conditioning of that ideology that is making us treat each other poorly, to abuse and bully one another. I have been an alien in another province and treated badly because I was from KwaZulu-Natal. I've also been an alien in another continent and treated badly because I'm African. So I know the hurt and plight of people who are facing xenophobia, every xenophobia season that we have in South Africa. So my prayer is that we can continue to have these conversations in our institution to better our communities, our nation. We speak so highly and sentimentally of ubuntu, yet it's not carried out in our practices every day. We are a selfish people. We will kick and cast aside people so that we can better ourselves. We are all about self-preservation. We will backstab and be vindictive. So carefully thought out plans to bring another person down. Yet we claim ubuntu. Not unique to South Africa, but an African concept of brotherhood, sisterhood, giving of resources and of oneself for the betterment of every individual. Every individual is worthy, is valuable, an addition to the greater whole. So my prayer is that we will realize this ubuntu, that we will experience real freedom in the education and training sector,